As a 10th grader, Ocasio-Cortez got her first taste of politics. She attended the National Hispanic Institute's Youth Legislative Session.
It's kind of like Lord of the Flies at times, but it's part for us of immersing students in pretending to be leaders. So her practice in that art started very early on.
She spent 8 days immersed in policy discussions, mock lawmaking, and elections.
She will tell you she ran for every position, she lost at everything, but by the end of the week, her peers had selected her as the most promising female of that delegation because they saw that never quit attitude, just shrug it off, shake it off, and get back up again.
In high school, Alexandria had a special interest in science. At 17, she competed in the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, one of the world's most prestigious student science fairs. She even appeared on NBC Nightly News.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a senior from Yorktown, New York, focused on using antioxidants to prevent disease.
One day we may be able to use this to prevent these diseases that we're seeing here caused by aging.
Competing against nearly 1,500 students from all over the world, Alexandria took second place.
You guys interested in science? Yes.
She made such an impression that MIT's Lincoln Laboratory named an asteroid after her, 23238 Ocasio-Cortez.
How are you feeling? Can you put it into words?
Nope.
I love that answer. That was our next guest last night after her big election victory in New York's 14th congressional district. And joining us here on set, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. What do you think really turned out the vote? And they did turn out.
Yeah, I mean, our campaign was focused on just a laser-focused message of economic, social, and racial dignity for working-class Americans, especially those in Queens and the Bronx. We're very clear about our message, very clear about our priorities, and very clear about the fact that even if you've never voted before, we are talking to you.
Okay, so that's the clearest message I've heard from a Democrat in a long time.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did you run?
Why did you run?
Well, you know, I think the big thing is just that I knew that in our community, we needed a very clear voice. I think we deserved representation that rejected lobbyist funds and put our voters in our community first. And I felt like we could really deliver a message for the Bronx, for Queens, and for the working class people of the United States. I felt like our party could be better, our message could be better, and that we could be better as a country.
As I followed your campaign, Alexandria, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see you directly at every opportunity taking on Donald Trump by name himself head on. You sort of implicitly took him on with your ideas and your programs, but it wasn't, they weren't personal fights with Donald Trump. It was making the counter argument to his policies.
Right. I think that that's really the path forward. What we need to do is lay out a plan and a vision that people can believe in, and getting into Twitter fights with the president is not exactly, I think, where we're going to find progress as a nation.
I want to point out, Mika, you mentioned that Alexandria went to the border. She's been on this issue long before it was in the news a couple of weeks ago, calling for the abolition of ICE, for example, long ago, not just while it was in national news.